Hello. Testing. Testing. Is anybody there? I feel like clicking the go live, I totally messed up the one that I had preset. That was a mess. Okay. Let's see if we can get this situated here. Hello. Hello. Is it Ava? Or is it Ava? I don't want to mispronounce your name. Hello. Hi. Oh my gosh, my brother, y'all. What? Colton, what are you doing here? What are you doing in here? Hello, Kristen. Mrs. Rev, I loved all of your comments on the vlog. Thank you so much. It was so much fun to respond. I was literally my lunch break, so you kept commenting, and I was like, oh, I'm going to respond. Hello, Lindsay. Hi, Jen. Hi, Tanya. Hello. Okay. Is it refreshing for y'all? Okay, because it's on. I have my computer pulled up so that I can respond to the comments, and it was like refreshing circle. Okay. Hello. All right, so I have a cup of tea. I decided to go with tea instead of wine, mostly because we are headed to the Hanukkah party right after this, and there's an open bar, and you don't need to pregame an open bar. So I decided we'll just stick with tea this week. I did the peppermint one, which was my David's Tea Advent Calendar Day 1. Because there's a little bit of caffeine, keep me going through the night, but not too much so that I can't go to bed later. All right, hello, hello. Okay, I won't mind when I'm still at work. Okay, maybe I should scoot over a little bit. I'm not quite centered. Anyway, that is irrelevant. But thank you guys so much for joining me today. Where is my notes? So the first thing I'm going to tell you is I'm going to look down because I'm going to be looking at the comments. And I want to look at you because I want this to be a hangout conversation, but I also am going to look at the comments so that I can respond to you. So just that's just going to happen. It did for you, Kristen. I hope you meant like it eventually loaded. Also, there's likely going to be Charlie sightings. I don't know if you can see her. She's going to sit up here because that's what she likes to do. Okay. The other thing I want to make sure that I comment on before we get started, I don't want it to be super long because I want there to still be value in the video and I want people to want to watch it later, if that makes sense. Sometimes I have a hard time clicking on lives when they're like 2 hours long. I'm not going to watch that. So we'll see. We'll see how things go and we'll see how things progress. But I would like it to still maintain value and so that people want to rewatch it later. And I think part of that is having it not be 800 years long. Okay. Hello. My cat is so cute. Yes, she is. She's precious. She's my baby girl. We actually just passed her gotcha day of 4 years, which is crazy. Okay, so like I mentioned, I think I mentioned this somewhere. I don't know if it was on Instagram or somewhere. We're going to be talking all about 2018. So a 2018 recap. So I bet you can guess what next week's topic is going to be. But today we are going to focus on 2018 and we're going to focus on 3 different categories. So we're going to talk about 2018 events. And I want to talk about what I went to and what I felt about them. Am I going back next year? Well, that's talking about 2019. Really, Colton? I didn't see your name last time I went live. No, I have not heard about monetizing yet, Jessica. Thank you for asking. It has been a long time, and there's nothing I can do about it. So I'm just trying to be patient. I'm just going to keep doing it. I'm going to stick to the plan that I had. I am not doing Vlogmas. I didn't think I was going to be monetized by Vlogmas anyways. I thought Vlogmas would be what pushed me over the edge. So I'm just trying to be patient. I'm trying not to freak out about it. Hi, Lisa. Okay, and then the next 2018 thing we're going to talk about is just 2018 struggles. I don't want to call them like lows because that sounds so negative, and I just want to talk about struggles, things that we struggled with in 2018. And then I want to end it on a positive note. So then we're going to talk about 2018 achievements. What did we achieve, and what are we proud of from 2018? So let's start with events. We'll just start with the beginning of the year. So January, I didn't go to anything in January. I don't think so. February, the first thing. So I think she meant monetizing, Joanna. I talked about this. I don't even think I talked about it on YouTube yet. I talked about it on Instagram. So I hit the qualifications to be monetized on YouTube. So you have to have a certain number of subscribers and a certain number of hours watched in order to monetize your channel. But in addition to hitting those requirements, they have to approve your channel, whatever that means. So they review all of your videos and make sure you're creating original content, et cetera, et cetera. They said that it could take about a month. It has been over 2 months since I hit those qualifications. So that's it. I can't monetize. Once you are, I will apply. So I can go back and monetize all of my videos, and I likely will, just because, I mean, people will keep watching those old videos. When I stumble upon new people that I really love, I go back and watch all their videos. So I likely will go back and monetize all of my old videos as well. So thank you for that support. I appreciate that. All right, so back to 2018 events. I think the first one I went to that was a sort of planner event was the Erin Condren's store opening in Austin, Texas. So it opened at the end of 2017, but then they had like an official launch party in 2018. And so I went down to Austin. I actually happened to already be in Austin for work. The timing was so convenient. And then I stayed, and they had this huge party, and it was really cool to see all of Erin's family and friends and just see how much they love and support her. It was kind of like a wedding. Like, everybody gave speeches, and there was an open bar, and it was just very, very sweet. And it was probably one of my favorite things from 2018, just to be a part of that. Being a part of the community in general is amazing, but that was just really special. I feel like I need to scoot over more. I feel so, well, I guess I am centered. Okay. Hot. Okay. All right. The second thing I went to in February was the Chicago Planner Conference, which is, I'm using my Chicago Planner Conference mug, which reminds me, it's already gotten a little cold. Fail. I made it way too early, and then I was trying to set things up, but I love how cute this mug turned out from last year. The logo they had last year was so cute. This year's like design aesthetic is gorgeous. Also, they have a pink, purple, like tan theme going on. But this logo and all of the Chicago like things, the bean, and well, I think that's actually the Hancock Tower, and then pizza. So the Chicago Planner Conference was their first one last year. Yes, the Chicago Planner Conference for this year is already sold out. Now, there is a wait list, but I also think the wait list is full. It went like that, y'all. The tickets sold out in like 15 minutes the night that they went on sale. It was sort of incredible. So, keep an eye out. Follow them on social media so that when it comes to 2020, you'll be ready to go, because, yeah, it definitely already, it sold out so fast. Hello, California. Hi, Karen. It was crazy. I did not think it was going to sell out that fast. But last year, and we'll talk more about Chicago 2019 next week, but 2018 was probably one of the most organized first-time events I've ever been to, especially one that had different options. So that is, I think, one of the things that makes the Chicago Planner Conference unique to any other event that I'd ever been to before, was that you had a lot of options. Oh, my hair is all messed up. So they had, like, for each session, they had workshop options. And so as somebody who doesn't use, let's say, I don't do a lot of like arts and like creative, like the like watercolors and stuff like that, and they had a session on that, but I didn't have to sit through that in a general session if it doesn't apply to me. And at the time, I really wasn't using a TN. I do now, kind of. I use the Erin Condren TN, but it's more just like a carrying case. I don't do all the dashboards and the bookmarks and all that stuff. They have sessions on that. So it was so well organized, y'all. And for being their first event at 300 people in a huge city, it was so impressive. So when they asked me to be a part of it again next year, I could not say no. But again, we're not talking about 2019 yet. How can you get on the wait list? So it's on their website, the wait list. But again, I think they've also cut the wait list off right now because it's that big. I don't know. It's making me a little, it's crazy how quickly it went. And they grew. I don't know if they announced how big it is, but they did grow from last year. So I think what is exciting about the Chicago Planner Conference is it was a lot, last year anyways, it was a lot of local people. There's a lot of people that just drove. They live in the Midwest and they just drove. I think next year is going to be more people traveling from out of town, but this past year that was a lot of local people. Okay, so let's keep moving, or this is going to be forever long. So the next one I went to was Go Wild in Austin, which Go Wild is just hard to explain. It is an experience, and they think of every detail, and it's amazing. And the fact that it was in Austin, and I went to school in Austin, I love Austin. And I got to show people Texas and just some of the unique things about Austin, the state, and that was my favorite thing. It was so awesome. Hello, Jessica. So yeah, it was one of those. It was more about the city for this one than the other ones for me, which is weird because the other ones were in cities I'd never been to. But that was the icing on the cake. And getting to meet Emily Lay was also an icing on the cake. I've been following her for so long, and I am obsessed with her. And maybe her children. That sounds creepy, but I love her. And so getting to meet her at the meet and greet, I waited in line for so long. Oh, that's a story. I waited in line. I am probably 5th from the line. And Jeanette comes up to me and asks me to do her a favor. And I was like, I'm about to meet Emily Lake. Just hold on 1 second. Hello, little tiny nuggets. Hi. I'm originally from San Antonio, so that's home. San Antonio, Texas. My mom and I moved to Chicago when I was 13. I went to high school in the suburbs of Chicago, but I lived in San Antonio until then, and my dad and family still live down there. Okay, so we're not talking about 2019. I want to say whether I'm going in next year, but that will be next week in the 2019 video. Okay, so then in June, I went to Plan Camp. Oh, hello from San Antonio. What part of San Antonio are you in? I grew up actually in Helotes, so northwest suburbs, not the city. Tiny little town. So Plan Camp was in June, which was in Minneapolis, outside of Minneapolis, and it was so much fun. I mean, it was, I think, 30 girls in this huge house. So much swag, so many cool things. I did a vlog of it, all of it, so I will link that in the description box. Go watch that. It's awesome. Oh, okay. So you're out there a little bit too. So that was fun. And one of my Plan Camp roomies, Lindsay, is chatting with us right now. Okay, and then the next one I went to wasn't until September. I went to the Sugary Gal conference here in New York. That one, the price for me was hard because $200 for just one day. And I know that's crazy because Go Wild is much more expensive than that, but it was just one day. And so that for me was hard, but given how close it was to home, it does not take me long to get to Times Square. So I just could not go. And it was good. It was fun. It was, there were a lot of great speakers. I wish there had been a little bit more downtime, but we had a good time. I'm trying to think who would have been the highlight speaker for me. I should have done that at all of them. Which speaker was the highlight at all of the events, but it's hard to remember at this point. It's been so long. And then most recently I went back to Chicago for an Erin Condren PR event. I also vlogged that. So if you're interested in that, you can check that out below. But I think that's all the 2018 events that I went to, planner related. I didn't go to any non-planner related events. I'm looking into some for the future, some YouTube related ones or just some personal growth related ones for going up. If you've ever been to any of those, let me know if you like them. Are there any other events that you guys went to in 2018 that you want to chat about? All right, otherwise, maybe we will just move on. I feel like we're making progress. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to say about those 2018 events. I don't really want to pick a favorite because I feel like that's mean. And if I picked a favorite, honestly, I think it would be the Erin Condren store opening party. But that's sort of that wasn't an event, a giant public event. If I'm trying to think if there were any 2018 events that I regret not going to. Were there any events? One that I kind of want to go to at some point is Camp Plancation that's hosted by the Planner Girl Chatter podcast girls. Have any of you been to that one? Because I feel like that one would be... I've never been to Arizona, first off. That's a big part of it. I've never been to Arizona. And this year it was at the same time as Plan Camp, and I had already signed up to go to Plan Camp. But I think that it just looked so unique. They seemed like they had so much fun. And when I hung out with the Kit Life girls in Florida, they were telling me all about it and said that it was so much fun. So I think I want to do that one again. You knew, so you haven't been any. Well, it's crazy. My video that goes up tomorrow is a flip through of my 2015 planner 2015. And that was when I went to my first big planner event. Although it wasn't that big, and it wasn't like a conference. It was like a meetup in a hotel. So, but I'll talk about that a little bit more tomorrow. What tip would you give to someone going to a planner event for the first time? Great question. So, first off, don't bring planner stuff. You are not going to plan. Now, other people might tell you differently. If you talk to or you follow Michelle Baxter at all, she always finds time to plan at events. I don't know how she does it, and that's just not for me. I am spending time with people. Now, she spends time with people too while she does it, but I am too busy chatting and spending time with people or exploring the city that I'm in, and I never plan. So don't bring planner stuff. Everybody is just as crazy about stickers and washi tape and papers and pens and all kinds of stuff. So it's your people. It's gonna be great. Like it's gonna be. Everybody feels the same, even though you're all different. Everybody's very different, but the same. Does that make sense? That sounds so funny. I recently got in the whole planning ring. How do I find them? So I am part of the NYC group. The NYC group has gotten huge, like really large. I feel like I should be repeating the questions so that when people rewatch this, oh no, because they can see the chat later. Sorry. So I'm answering the question about the NYC group. So I am part of the NYC group. It's really large. My advice would just be to go to events, either in your city or not in your city, and you're going to meet people that then become your closer friends, if that makes sense. So like my planner friends that I spend time with, just not even doing planner stuff, but like having dinner because they're my friends that I happen to meet through the planner world. I met them at an event or because of an event. Because of Go Wild, actually. So we were going to an event that was in a totally different city than New York, but we found out that we all lived here together and could be friends. So that's sort of how I would find that. I mean, going to the New York ones would help, obviously, because there's going to be more people that live in New York, but going to other ones helps too, because there's definitely going to be people from New York. And for Go Wild specifically, I always host like a pre-Go Wild brunch for anybody who lives in New York. Or anybody that's willing to travel to Manhattan, really. We've done it for the past 3 years, and it's one of my favorite things to do in the spring. How do I find out about them? You can just follow, I mean, if you follow people on Instagram or follow people on YouTube, most people will talk about them before tickets sell out. I mean, some of them, the tickets still sell out super fast, like Chicago. Like, that just will happen. So just, you can Google a lot of the big cities that do, like, consistent ones. So Go Wild's every year in a different city. The Chicago one, this is their second year, but I assume they're going to keep going. The West Coast planners, if you follow them on Instagram, they usually do one along the West Coast every year. I'm trying to think what the other big ones are that you could follow. That would, I mean, I'm not sure where you live, so that might help too. If you were going to one for the first time, which one would be the most beneficial? So I think it may depend on where you live and what your budget is. If you can get to one that's within driving distance of you, that's maybe on the less expensive, that I think might be a great first one, just to kind of dip your toe in the water, so to say. But I also think that going all out for your first one can also be really fun, and just it gets you really excited. I mean, Go Wild it's an expense, but it's totally worth it, and it's a lot of people. But if you want, I would say try to go to maybe a closer one for your first one. They do have ways to find a roommate, Joanna. So most events will create a Facebook group, a private group for just the people that are going to that event, and you can find roommates that way. I've never stayed alone. I have always had roommates and split the cost that way. It just makes it so much easier to do. I mean, there are people who stay alone because that's their time. Like, that's their time away, and they want their time in their alone space. I always end up with roommates because I'd rather spend my money on food and drinks and maybe more drinks. Oh, hi, Jenny. Yes, Winter Plannerland is usually in Atlanta. So that one, and Atlanta is nice because pretty much anybody can get a cheap flight to Atlanta. At least I think so. Theirs also sold out super fast. It is actually this weekend. So keep an eye out for next year if that's something that you're interested in. New York City Planner Addicts, yes, Jenny. So they are having their second year in NYC. That one is in January, which we will talk about next week during the 2019 one. I will talk about the New York City one. That one's going to be awesome. Would you recommend PlannerCon? So I've never been to PlannerCon, so I can't from a personal standpoint give any sort of opinion on it. I know that Kayla and Alex from Oh Hello Stationery, who I admire and chat with, they go to all the PlannerCon events. They have said that from a business perspective, the ability to sell product has made it worth it for them, but that it may not be the most organized event that they've ever been to. That's their words on it. Oh, Jen Cabrera. I did not know that was you. That does not look like you. But it's also like this big. NYC is still open. There are still tickets to the January event in NYC. And again, I'll go through more details on that one next week, but it is still open. If you go to NewYorkCityPlannerAddicts.com, I think. Google New York City Planner Addicts. It's in January. It's going to be so much fun. Let's see, it's, yeah. Okay, I think I caught up with all the comments. Okay, Indiana. Yeah, so Chicago Planner Conference would be a great one for you. There was one in Ohio last year. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Because I don't remember what it was. My Little Munchkins, the Coffee Monsters Co. Thank you, Jen, for linking there. So that's NYC Planner Addicts. It is still open, January. The Cleveland Planner Group, is that the one that did an event last year? There was like a big one, I feel like, in Ohio last year. And I feel like they were all in the same weekend. It was Plan Camp, which is one I went to, Plancation in Arizona, and then there was one in Ohio that same weekend. But I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, Oklahoma does a good one too, if you're anywhere near there. Madison, they did one this past year, their first one. They did a Madison one. I heard there were a couple issues with it. I don't know any ton of details on it. But there was one in Madison this past year. Oh, hi. Oh, have fun at Elf the Musical. I saw that a couple years ago. So cute. So cute. Although, the story about that is there was someone sitting behind me that was, like, talking. And I had to, like, ask them to be quiet. And they had kids with them. And then they started, like, swearing at me. And I was like, you're a child. And you're talking during a musical. Can you be quiet? It was bad. Minnesota does a lot of events. Theirs are not usually, like, super large scale such that people will travel to them. People that are within driving distance will usually drive to the Minnesota ones. They do a lot of great events. They're just usually, like, maybe 30 people, and they're, like, mostly people that live in Minnesota. But I'm partial to Go Wild. I am partial to Go Wild, too. And Vegas, oh, I'm so pumped. Don't get me started for Vegas. I feel like this has been good, chatting about all the planner events that are. Although, we're cutting a little bit into 2019, and we're going to be talking about all of the events that are the ones that I'm going to, and then just some options as well. All right, let's move on so that this video is not forever and a day. If you have more questions, you can keep asking. Oh, the Cleveland PlannerCon. Yeah, so PlannerCon will do one big one in San Francisco every year, and then they do these smaller PlannerCon parties. This year they did Charlotte, Cleveland, Salt Lake, Hawaii, maybe one more. So there's that option too. But kind of the same thing as PlannerCon, at least from what I've heard from other people. Okay, so struggles, 2018 struggles. There's two that I want to talk about. Partially because I just need to talk about them, and partially because I want to hear what y'all's thoughts are, and partially I want to hear what, if you do you struggle with these two. So the first one is multitasking. I feel like I think multitasking is productive. And when I say multitasking, I mean like I am cooking dinner and I'm also trying to like pseudo edit a video at the same time. Or I am trying to, I don't know, I'm trying to think like what some examples are of my multitasking skills. And it just never seems to work out well. And it's something that I feel like I need to stop. But I think the root of my multitasking problem is impatience. I don't think I have no patience. None of it. I have none of the patience. And so I think I struggle if like it's taking forever to load while I'm trying to edit, and then I want to try and do something else at the same time. Or something's cooking on the stove and I'm impatient, I try and do something else at the same time. Yeah, Jen, I think it can also. I think you're right. I think it can work. It depends on the task. But I read somewhere in a book that was like, don't multitask. It's better to do one thing great than 10 things not great. And I was like, well, yeah, Lindsay, thank you for, yeah, that's what I was trying to get to. Like, they're great events, always fun, but they're pretty local. They're not necessarily people that travel to them. They go together organically, then you can successfully do two. What's an example of things that go together organically? What? I think you're right. I just feel like I need to get a grasp on that. Stink at multitasking. I wish I could. See, that's just it. I feel like I need to solve this problem or this struggle and figure out what can multitask and what I'm good at and how to master it before I have kids. I feel like this needs to be a thing I do before I have children. I either need to stop it or I need to get really good at it. Does that make sense? I get distracted. Yes, me too. And then the task that was more important to begin with is probably that I should be focusing on, probably gets less focused on because I start doing this other task at the same time. We just had our second and I'm still not good at it. Do emails and phone calls at the same time if they are the same topic. Well, that would imply that I make phone calls. I hate phone calls. Always maxed out. At the end of my day, it's all done for the most part. Things that don't use your brain. That's a good point. Like exercising doesn't require brain power. The great ones say multitasking is a myth. Our brains can't do it. Yeah, I think that might be. I kind of like Mrs. Reb W. I'm not sure what to say to say your full name. I think that you have a great point. I think if one thing is really mindless, then you can multitask. But I think if they are both brain power operated, I should really try to just focus on one at a time, even if I'm impatiently waiting for technology to help catch up. Watching videos, folding laundry, and then I have the urge to... Yes! Oh my gosh, I'm the same way. Sorry, that was really loud. Grin and plan. I'm the same way. I am absolutely the same way. And you know what's funny? I'm going to mention this in an upcoming vlog, but I'll tell y'all now. The vlogging event, so I use my phone as my camera. So vlogging things, like when I was folding laundry the other day, and I didn't have my phone to pick up and scroll through Instagram mid-fold or in between clothing pieces, I got it done so much faster. And because I knew it was filming it and I wanted the footage to be as short as possible, I folded super fast. Isn't that crazy? So because my phone was unavailable during that activity, I focused on it. It was crazy. You couldn't multitask until you had kids. Okay, all right. I'm talking like I'm a No, I'm really not. I'm not gonna lie, y'all. Okay. I appreciate it. Switch tasking. Oh, maybe I need to. So I also ordered a book on this topic. So I'm in. This is like a long process. So power sheets, which I talked about before, in the Facebook group for the power sheets, somebody commented on, I feel like I have too many goals and not enough time. And then somebody else recommended a book that has to do with that. And I bought it and it gets here tomorrow. So hoping that might help me. I forget what it's called. The premise is pick 3, choose 3. Something like that. It's by Randy Zuckerberg, if that helps. That's what I remember. I learned multitasking once I had kids. All right. Okay, so maybe when I have kids, I will become a multitasking master. Charlie, you're not helping. She doesn't require me to multitask. I can fill up her food and water at the same time. That's about the extent of it. To clarify, I don't feel like it's extremely productive. Yeah. As a mom, it's not as much multitasking as much as switching super fast. Your thing, their thing. Okay, that's interesting. So maybe it's about switching faster. And that's probably part of it too. So if I'm switching from task A to task B, don't stop and check Instagram in between A and B. Just go straight to B. Stop. Even if task A is done, there is no task 8.2 to 8.0 in the middle, 8.5, to check your phone. That was not on the list. That's a great point. Okay. I like it. I feel like I'm getting a lot out of this. And I'll let you know how I like the book and if that helps. Okay. So my other big struggle that I feel like a lot of us as planner girls and being influenced by this community come with is starting projects and not finishing them, or starting books and not finishing them, or starting to clean a part of your house and not finishing it, starting things in general and not finishing them. I feel like I am the queen of that, and I feel like my biggest fear with this is the power sheets. I'm going to start them and then not finish them. I'm hoping that the fact that I want to share them will hold me accountable to doing that, but like that's one of my big struggles. I feel like with 2018 I started all these random things, and the only one, which is jumping into the accomplishments that I started and kept up with, was this channel. That's the only thing I feel like that I seriously started in 2018 and like stuck with. I started a bullet journal in 2018. Remember that? Where is it? Where's that bullet journal? What else did I start in 2018 that I did? I started workout programs like 14 times. So that's why I committed the one I'm doing now. This is the third time I've started it. I'm doing a Beachbody program. I'm starting it over for the third time. Well, I started it over. I am committed. That's why on the vlogs I keep moving my workouts around, because I am committed to finishing it. It ends at the end of the year if I finish the full 8 weeks. So I feel like I need to finish things. It just makes me feel I need to finish them. I need to stop starting these stupid projects and not finishing them. There's just everything, all the things. Like half the books on my shelf, like I've started them and read like a chapter or two and then not finished them. My husband can't even multitask. No, I don't think men can multitask well. Sam can't multitask either. I know that. If he's looking at his phone or his computer, I just stop talking because I know that he's not listening, and it takes him a full like 15 seconds to realize that I stopped talking. And then he's like, wait, what? What were you saying? And I was like, well, you weren't listening. Clearly. Our wedding guest book isn't finished. We've been married 13 years. No, don't. That scares me. Oh my God. I haven't written in my daily journal in weeks. Exactly. Yeah. There's power in commitment. I started a blog and never went back to it. Oh yeah. Blogging is definitely also one of those things that I do every now and then when I have an idea. But you would think I committed to doing 3 videos a week and I've been doing it, but the blog, nope. Nope. Also, my tea is really cold now, y'all. It's still delicious. And because I didn't put any milk in it, after this is over, I will nuke it and drink it before I leave. Clean up my YouTube channel. Oh my God, you should absolutely pick it up again. That would be so fun. Yeah, I mean, there's just so many things. So don't get started on my Instagram. I feel like you're pretty good at that. You're good at stories. Yeah, I feel like I need to stop picking too many things and pick things I actually can finish. And I need to stop trying to impress myself with the number of things that I start and impress myself with the number of things that I finish, because I don't finish them. I don't finish enough of them. You do so well every week in your habit trackers. I know, but a lot of those have been there forever. So that's why they've become habits. And I'm afraid if I take them off, I won't do them as well. There's still sometimes I don't do them. Do you see the circles? The circle means I didn't do it, by the way. Big fat 0. Didn't do it. Baby books. Reading every night. Yeah. How about reading on the subway? I did a thing. I like did it for a month. I wrote a blog post about it, and I was like, oh, I'm a subway reader now. And then Vlogmas started, and now I'm back to being a YouTube subwayer, watching YouTube on the subway. I keep wanting to start a YouTube channel. Joanna, for that, you just have to just do it. Like, with YouTube, I had to stop trying to plan it out and make it perfect. Also, I just spilled tea all over my dress because I, like, got so into that, and I talk with my hands. And I just spilled tea all over my dress that I'm wearing to the Hanukkah party. I'm not changing. I rented this for this party. Yeah. Okay, YouTube channel. Just do it. You have to just try. If you don't try, you won't. You're going to keep overthinking it. What is that phrase? Like, overthinking, procrastinating, something. Analysis paralysis. That's what it's called. When you spend too much time thinking about it instead of just doing it. And even if you do it, it's not going to be perfect. There are still videos that I'm like, why didn't you edit that part? Or why didn't you, like, why did you do that? Why is your head not in the center of the shot? Like, things like that, but it's like, oh well, too late. I don't have time to go back and redo it. It's going up live, done, and I'll fix it next time. So, textbooks and kids' books. I know, that's my fear with the power sheets too. But again, I'm hoping the power of the social media and me posting it on the social media will make me finish them. I'm getting together with friends this weekend to work on them. So that will at least hold me accountable to getting them set up. Hang out with them. So those are my 2 biggest challenges that I realize I have this year, things I struggle with that I am looking to address next year, things I'm looking to address. Find that if I find something, I jump in fast. Yes, me too. And I tried to, and that happens a lot too with buying stuff. Like I think like, oh, that's a great idea. Buy, click, done. And then it shows up and I'm like, why did I buy this? I'm not going to do this or use this or whatever. And so I have that struggle too, Vanessa. And I think that I've tried to do that like pause, like wait a day before you buy things to sort of help me with that, which I did with power sheets. Social media. Yeah. And I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to share the social media, share the power sheets on social media, because some of it will be very private. But some of it won't, and I won't mind sharing it. And I'll just blur out what I don't want you to see, which is what I always do. Nothing will be perfect. Yes, good enough is good enough. Good enough is good enough. I'm trying to embrace that done is better than perfect, or progress over perfection. Like, stop. Having it done is better than it being perfect. Or having it done and it not being perfect is better than it not being done. Right? So I'm trying to do that. Oh, so many comments. Okay, hold on. I see someone else doing things that looks like fun, and then I realize, yes, right? Yeah, me too. I spend all the money, and then I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. Yes, Jen, but the power sheets are more than just knowing what you should be doing and creating an action plan of breaking them down into achievable steps. Like, yes, I want to lose weight. Okay, so yes, I know I need to eat better and work out more. Those are vague, and writing workout as a daily habit is, I mean, that's great and all, but like there needs to be more to it than that. So some of my things I'm considering for my like health aspect of my power sheets next year is drink 6 glasses of water a day. I know that's not the right amount, right? But start small, and then 7, and then the next month is 8. Or eat 2 servings of vegetables. That's already gonna be really hard for me, by the way, because I hate vegetables. And then work my way up, that kind of thing. So I think that there is way more to it than just goals and what to happen. Also, I think you may think you know what your goals are until you start doing this. And that's why I think I know like what my 3, because you pick like 3 major parts of your life to focus on. And I think I know what they're going to be. Like I in my head, they're going to be my health and Sam and my channel. And that's in my head. But I haven't done the actual prep work yet. I started it, I haven't finished it. And it might not be those. I might discover something else. So I had an accounting professor say, perfection gets in the way of good enough. Every penny counts to someone. Oh, that's funny. Grin and Plan, I assume you're an accountant. Both my parents are accountants. And the product of 2 accountants. Jenny, I thought the same thing. Yes, they are more than worksheets. Oh, I'm so glad that you're almost done. I am not almost done. Do you think there can be too many planner YouTube channels? That's a really interesting question. And I think the answer is no, because I think everybody is unique, and I think everybody has something different in their life that they're planning for that somebody else in the world could get inspiration from. I think, if that makes sense, like I think that I think that in the, you know, now there's only so many videos you're gonna watch of like an Aaron Contra surprise box unboxing. Like I get that. That is your own thing. But maybe you really want that person's opinion. But when it comes to like planning your life, everybody's life is different. And you may get something out of a different channel. That's my thoughts on that. Was anyone else disappointed they weren't actual spreadsheets? I love spreadsheets too, so I'm with you. Yes, I suggest you order them, and I suggest you use the link in my video. Selfish, shameless self-promo. Okay. All right, so now let's move on to the exciting part, the achievements. I feel like my 3 topics, 20 minutes, and then we're moving on, 20 minutes. So, yes, I agree, Jen. That's what I was trying to say. You typed it out. Okay, achievements. I think I already started talking about it, but this channel, just finally jumping in with 2 feet and just doing it and committing and doing 3 videos a week since I started the channel, and then attempting Vlogmas, which is proving more difficult actually than I anticipated. But this is not a complaint session. I don't want to go there. So I think that's one of the biggest achievements from my 2018, and I'm incredibly proud of that, and I can't wait for 2019. Right now, the plan is to still do 3 videos a week. I'm thinking of switching things up a little bit. I haven't decided yet, though. We'll find out. Hello from Russia. What time is it there? I don't know time changes, so I'm curious. I think it's probably 12 hours. Does that make sense? I guess it depends on what part of Russia you're in. It's really big. The other big achievement that is an achievement / something I want to work on next year is friendships. I feel like I've always been so... Oh, thank you. Yeah, I know. I'm debating it. We'll bring it up more formally at another time about whether or not I'm going to continue the daily vlogging in January. We'll see. Oh my gosh, I need to delete my work email from my work phone. But here's the thing. Here's what I wanted. I want the calendar. If I could just have my work calendar on my phone and not my work email, I would be totally content with that. I don't need the email. The people that really need to get a hold of me, if it's an emergency, they can text me and I'll pull up my email on my computer. But I love having my work calendar on my phone. That's my struggle. All right, back to this. So friendships. So I feel like I did a really good job in 2018 of cultivating, that's a little lowercase word, some really incredible friendships. And I'm really proud of myself for that. And some of them are local and some of them are not. Either way, I feel like I did a good job. And I'm proud of myself for that. And I think I just want to make sure that I continue that next year. I want to continue to focus on those friendships. And then maybe even more. Maybe not necessarily new friends, but definitely some more local friends. Like I have some friends that I used to be very close with, and we made plans outside of work. They're friends from work all the time, and now I only see them at work. Whether we're getting lunch or coffee or passing in the hallway. And I want to work on those friendships. But I don't know. But I'm proud of the ones that I did cultivate in 2018. If it's up one, I can. I'm not sure it's your iPhone. It is an iPhone, but it's Outlook. Microsoft Outlook. If there's a way to do that, I would be in heaven. In heaven. Because I like having my work calendar. I like being able to see what do I have going on tomorrow, what should I wear, blah, blah, blah. Especially on the weekends. Like, I can't remember what time my first meeting is on Mondays after Friday. So that would be an ideal situation for me. I've also been considering asking them for a work phone, which I don't want. I don't want to carry it around, but then I can get my email off my personal phone. The other big thing about having my email on my personal phone, rather than just the balance, is space and battery life. Like, it kills it. I don't work outside the home, so I don't get to meet many people. Yeah. Meeting people as an adult is so hard. I've talked about this before, guys. Meeting people as an adult is so hard. Working on friendships as an adult is so hard. Everybody's schedule is so hard. I saw this quote one time talking about Friends, the TV show. If you don't watch it, I apologize that you won't understand this anecdote, but it was like, how were they hanging out, all 6 of them, so many times? For me to get 6 friends together, it takes like 3 months of planning. Does anybody else feel that way? Like, what? Jen, that is so awesome. Oh my gosh, that is really awesome. Maybe that's what I need to do. Especially like one really good friend. I don't know if she'll see this video or she'll even know I'm talking about her, but one really good friend that I have here that I used to be very close with, like, you know, she'd be a bridesmaid, like all the things. I haven't seen her outside of work in so long, and I used to blame it on her and be like, well, she's not a planner, so she's not going to schedule it. I'm going to have to schedule it, and I took that as like she doesn't care about our relationship and our friendship, so I'm just going to forget it. But you're right, I should just take ownership and I should just do it if it's that important to me. So that is Oh, Kristen, you're making me feel bad. I am in my 20s. My late 20s, but I'm still in my 20s. Oh, I don't know. I think that's, yeah. I think that's one of those things. So that's my other achievement that I just turned into this negative thing. I didn't mean it to be negative because I made some good friends, or the ones I made in 2017, and then I really focused on their friendship in 2018. And I feel like when I need something and I need advice, I have a handful of people that I can go to that I really, really trust, and I trust their advice. I trust that they're gonna, not tell everybody about it, and I trust that they have my best interest at heart, and they're not going to give me advice that isn't the best advice for me. Why do foreigners hate Russia? Okay. Quality over quantity. Yeah, that's a great point. Yep. I think it's just I would like to have a couple more. I know quality over quantity. A couple more in New York that I can see in person. Because otherwise, the only time I feel like I leave my house is when Sam and I are going to like a birthday thing, or like I'm going to work. Like Sam and I do a lot together, but I feel like the only time I leave my house to see friends, like I have a couple planner friends that I do that with. Otherwise, that's it. Yeah, social media. That's true. I think it has become hard. And I do have a lot of great online friends and friends that I do see like once or twice a year, and it's hard. And this is going to sound so like, I don't want it to sound like cliche or self-centered, but like I think about like a wedding. Like when I get married, I want to have bridesmaids that I like genuinely like love and are my good close friends, best friends. And sometimes I'm like, I don't even know who that, like I don't have that many of those. I don't have that many. And that makes me like, I see people with bridal parties of like a billion people. Or Sam, Sam is like, well, I've got this and this person, and his list is like forever long. I'm like, this is gonna be so off balanced. I move around a lot. It is hard to stay in contact. It is. That's definitely true. It's hard to stay in contact, and you know. So this is one of my goals, Jen, that I'm planning on putting something related to it in my power sheet, something very specific, like text somebody once a week, make a phone call once a week. Like my college roommate and I, when we're in the same town, we see each other, and it's so much fun. We never talk, rarely, otherwise, like texting or unless it's like someone's birthday. And I want to change that. And maybe it's picking the phone up and calling her, or like when she's on her drive home from work, have her call me. Like she's in LA, so when she's driving home from work, it's like 6 her time. It's like 9 my time. Perfect. Let's chat. Let's talk on the phone. Sorry, y'all. I'm just taking care of something. Okay. I've been married 15 years and I still use the bridesmaids analogy. Yeah, I just feel like that's such a big thing. Like the bridesmaids analogy, who would stand by your side? So, okay. Let's wrap this up because I did not want to go over an hour. That was definitely one of the goals because I do want people to still feel like they can rewatch this and get something valuable out of it. So, quickly, next week, we are talking 2019. Same topics for the most part. I mean, I guess we can't talk struggles in 2019 because they won't have happened yet. But we're going to definitely talk events, planner events, ones I'm going to, and then maybe some other options for you as well. And then we're also going to talk goals, 2019 goals. What is on the plate? I'm working on my power sheets this weekend. I hope to have those signed, sealed, and delivered by next Thursday. We are going to do 8 p.m. Eastern because it is so much better for people on the West Coast, even people on the East Coast. Like 6 p.m., like they're not home from work yet. They're like, I can't watch you at 6 p.m. So we're going to do 8 p.m. Eastern next week. And I think that's all that I had to say for you today. I'm checking my notes. That's it. Any other last minute questions? Legitimate questions? much fun to chat. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for asking questions and being engaged. I feel like we had some great conversations, and I feel like I answered a lot of great questions, and that was so much fun. I can't wait for future ones. Again, so next week will be 2019. The next Thursday will be all about travel. So I'm going to be sitting in the airport. I'm going to be that person in the airport chatting with you, and we're going to talk all about travel. Yeah, I think eight will be better for most people. I think it would have been better for me. I literally rushed home from work and was like, "Get ready, go, go, go!" But now I have a little bit of time. I'm gonna get tomorrow's video all lined up and ready to go, and then I'm headed to this Hanukkah party with Sam. I need to finish, I'm gonna reheat and then finish this tea, and that's it. So if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you are new here, please click that subscribe button. I usually upload every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, but every day during December for Vlogmas and live on Thursdays. Thank you so much for joining me. Happy planning.
How do I exit?